Hello students, I hope you all are doing good and fine. So finally your ACCA exams are done. Now you can enjoy a little bit, you can travel, you can chill. So maximum for 8 or 10 days I say. Once your vacation is done for 10 to 12 days, you have taken a break. Start your preparation for your next attempt, that is March 2026 attempt. So do not waste time because time is very important. And I have received a lot of messages saying कि sir paper tough था sir, paper was easy, paper was difficult sir, क्या होगा sir, we will pass or not, sir we have written this sir, we have done this sir, that this etc. Lot of messages. So in our today's video we will be discussing your paper review. Let's see whether the paper was tough, easy, difficult, disaster, sir कुछ out of the box ही आ गया. Let us discuss that. See now, based on the poll which we have created in the group, FR students have mentioned what? Key sir, the paper was what? Moderate and manageable. It was manageable. It was not out of the box, sir. It was not out of the box completely. It was manageable, and I mentioned 60 to 70 marks will be straightforward and focus on that. वही चाहिए, बाकी कुछ नहीं चाहिए. And many students have mentioned that only. See, 21 students have mentioned that sir, it was moderate and manageable. Overall, as I mentioned in a regular class also, that nine questions from your section A and 9 from your section B will be straightforward. So students have mentioned that sir 20 to 22 MCQs were straightforward and manageable. When coming to other MCQ were a little bit tricky, careful reading was required as I mentioned in your regular class also. So कोई नहीं, you have given your paper. Now do not worry much, panic नहीं करना अपन को. We have to take a break. We have to start our preparation for the next paper which we are planning for the March. Any doubts regarding anything, you can connect with me and contact me. So now chalo, let us discuss your section E. Sir, section E में क्या क्या है? See, this is based on the feedback from the student. It includes your paper 1, paper 2. As you know, in ACCA there are 2 to 3 set of paper that usually comes. So on that basis, students have mentioned me. Students have mentioned, sir, we got a question regarding lease interest calculation. So very important question, as we done in our IEFRS 16 also, we had to prepare amortization table and interest calculate karna tha. Then consolidation 2 to 3 MCQ questions. As I mentioned, interpretation, consolidation, conceptual framework, very important topic, beta. Understand that. Then sir, intangible asset theory question. 2 marks theory question came, intangible asset, the identifiable, whether it is identifiable or not, whether it's an intangible asset or not. Then ratio question, 2 to 3 ratio questions. Excuse me. 2 or 3 ratio questions also were the students have mentioned. Then the next important topic, IAS 10 and IAS 8. Very important topic, as I mentioned, part 3 of your syllabus is very important, the small standards. And I mentioned it's important from the section A point of view. And many students have mentioned ki, sir, IAS 10, a lot of questions were tested in section B also. Many students have mentioned me that. Then your conceptual framework, it is regarding your this one, fundamental and enhancing characteristics, and then consequences of historical cost over current value when the prices are increasing. Then financial instruments, interest calculation, what is the interest that will be recorded in financing category. Agriculture, IAS 41 also was tested in one of the set. Revenue also, a question regarding IFRS 15 principal and agent question was tested. Then foreign currency or IAS 21, calculate the total gain or loss. Receivable or payable was there, and half of the payment was done during the year, and the remaining half we had to restate. These were the questions which students have mentioned ki sir, it was tested in section A. I hope the section A was manageable. ऐसे कुछ नहीं था कि out of the box था, easy था. Then coming to the next part. So section B. Section B, when coming to one set, had these topics. Revenue, IAS 10, non-current asset, most of the questions were regarding intangible asset and provision. So provision and IAS 10 were tested together. Revenue ka question bhi tha, it was manageable, and non-current asset, it was regarding intangible asset, students have mentioned. Then the other set had leases, IFRS 16 EPS was tested, and IFRS 9 compound financial instruments. Students have mentioned these points. Okay, so these were the questions. If you have got any other question, you can comment so that students also get to know, okay, December attempt, these were the topics, so that if students are preparing for March, they get to know, okay, small topics are also important. So section A, section B, as mentioned, manageable. It was not tricky. Yeah, some theory questions were tricky, but as I mentioned in a regular class, use elimination method. Try to eliminate the sentences. Yes, sir. Then coming to the most important part, section C. I have received a lot of messages saying कि sir we were prepared for balance sheet, consolidation of balance sheet and P&L. Sir single entity आ गया sir, क्या करें? But I mentioned बेटे कि even though you get single entity, easy 11 to 12 marks will be there. Focus on that. Chalo, section C. In one of the set you had consolidated P&L, and in the revision marathon also I mentioned that P&L, the chances are very high that P&L will come 90 percentage, because in September attempt it was a balance sheet question, and as mentioned IAS 1 has been replaced by IFRS 18. So important क्या हो जाता है P&L का topic. Then the adjustments were repeated only. Many students have mentioned me. Then a theory question was there for 6 marks. Deferred consideration and contingent consideration. You had to explain what is the difference between deferred and contingent consideration. How do we record it? And these were the adjustments. Fair value through OCI, gain or loss, S to P sale, remove from revenue, say cost of sales, and URP. Fair value adjustment, excess depreciation was also tested. Impairment of goodwill, you had to allocate to NCI and parent. Then property impairment loss and impairment loss regarding property was there. So these were the adjustments which were tested in your P&L part. A very simple and easy question. You also had to calculate the carrying amount of the associate for 2 to 3 marks. Many students have mentioned, sir, ki we got this also. We had to calculate the carrying amount of the associate for 2 to 3 marks. So comment in the comment section, which set did you get? Did you get P&L, consolidated P&L, or did you get single entity? Then, sir, other set had single entity. You have to prepare the P&L, changes in equity and balance sheet. As I mentioned in the class that, and during your revision marathon also I had given important question, print company, MEMS, and this print company also had these things, same P&L, changes in equity, balance sheet. And in that you had IFRS 9, loan taken, we have taken, loan is borrowed. How should we treat it? IFRS 9. Then foreign currency was also tested, your IAS 21. Revenue was tested, IFRS 15, basic. Then PP depreciation was tested and annual transfer. Every year we transfer no annual depreciation to from revaluation surplus to retained earnings. That also was tested, and this had a effect in your changes in equity also. Then, sir, investment property or IAS 40 was also tested, and income tax IAS 12. So these were the 6 to 7 adjustment which students have mentioned कि sir we got in PL. So I hope कुछ out of the box नहीं था इसमें. It was easy. You can easily manage this, your depreciation, your tax calculation, your foreign currency, loan which we have taken. Loan if we have taken, we recorded amortization cost. You have to calculate the interest which is recorded in P&L under financing category. So ऐसे नहीं था कि sir full 20 marks was difficult out of this. Easily 14 marks I say it was easy and manageable only. Easily 14 marks were manageable. So in one set the question was regarding consolidated P&L. In the other set the question was regarding single entity. After that, sir, interpretation in one of the set, the interpretation question was regarding what? So the interpretation question was regarding which company should be acquired. There were two companies. Many students mentioned, sir, there were two companies. Which company we have to acquire? And many students also mentioned me, sir, already we had acquired a company. Some set had a question regarding two companies were given, which company we should acquire. And they had mentioned that, and one more question was regarding that the company has already been acquired. You have to calculate the goodwill. Goodwill calculation was that easy marks. Then ratio, gross profit, operating profit, current ratio, inventory holding days, trade receivable days. And it was easy one. It was not out of the box. Interpretation, as I mentioned, simple sentences will fetch you marks. And then the next question, many students mentioned, sir, comparison between two entities in the same industry was given. Two entities were given, we had to compare it. So many students have mentioned me this. I think the question was regarding this, which company should be acquired here, and here the company has been already acquired. The company was already acquired, we had to calculate the goodwill. So interpretation also, as I mentioned, there are 5 to 6 type of interpretation question that regularly comes in your exam. Out of that, 2 topics were tested. So this was your overall review of your ACCA FR exam 2025. Moderate and manageable, कुछ out of the box नहीं था. It was not too difficult. Yeah, 3 students have mentioned ki sir difficult based on the single entity. They were prepared for balance sheet, your consolidated balance sheet and P&L, but single entity आ गया. कोई नहीं. Now I think the paper was manageable and easy. 65 to 70 marks was manageable. The topics which we have done in the class, the questions which we have done, वैसे ही आया था, कुछ out of the box नहीं था. So with this, now you have done with the exam. Once you receive your results, please update me if you have attended my revision marathon, it was helpful or not. So now take break for 10 days. After that, start your preparation for your upcoming attempt. That is your March, June 2020, your March or June 2026 attempt. So our batches are starting from the next week. If you want to enroll, you can contact me or Chinmay sir. My contact number is 6361764852. So the upcoming batch, FR, SBR, your AFM, FM, ATX and PM. These are the 6 batches which will be conducted live. Sir, tax recordings will be available. So any doubts regarding FR or SBR, you can connect with me. Or if you want to enroll for the upcoming batches, you can connect with me or Chinmay sir. So we can guide you and we can move forward. So the first 5 classes will be demo classes. It will be for free of cost. Attend the demo classes. If you like, you can enroll for the classes. And understand one important point, that once you enroll for our classes, until you clear your exam, you can attend the live classes. It's not that, sir, we have attended the December batch, we were not able to clear, we want to attend the March batch also. You can attend, no need to pay any extra fees. But if you need the recording of that particular batch, you have to pay 1,000 rupees so that you can get the recording of the latest batch. So with this, your paper review, from my point of view, the paper was manageable. ऐसे नहीं था कि पूरा tough था. So with this, any doubts, connect with me regarding FR, SBR or regarding FM, AFM. You can connect with Chinmay sir so that we can guide you. So now do not worry much. Hope that everything will be good and you have done your hard work. Let's see whatever will be your results. So bye bye. Have a good day. Signing off. Radhe Radhe to everyone.